Photosynthesis can be thought of in two different steps, and first is the light-dependent reactions. A photon of light, shown as the yellow arrows, hits the photosystem 2, and these are named in the order they were discovered, as we'll talk about photosystem 1 later. But the photon of light excites an electron in photosystem 2 and essentially frees it. It breaks apart a molecule of water, and it's called photolysis. And the O2 that's made ends up being an electron donor for the electron transport chain. And the electron that's freed from photosystem 2 goes up and goes through an electron transport down to the cytochrome B6F complex, labeled just as a cytochrome. And that pumps down the electron along with hydrogens, it's a dual pump, and that electron is then transported through plastocyanin and NADP+ to photosystem 1. And another photon of light goes into photosystem 1, and the electron is again excited and makes NADPH as a product, which is used later in the electron transport chain as an electron carrier. And the H pluses that were pumped down through the cytochrome B6F complex go to the ATP synthase, where ADP is turned into ATP. And as labeled, this happens in the thylakoid of the chloroplast membrane, and strom and lumen are labeled as well. Next we see the citric acid cycle, also known as the Krebs cycle. And the citric acid cycle produces carbon dioxide, NADH, GTP, and FADH2. And NADH and FADH2 are electron carriers used in the electron transport chain. So first, in the top left corner, we see glycolysis, and glycolysis generates pyruvate, which is converted into acetyl-CoA through oxidation, called pyruvate dehydrogenase. And the acetyl-CoA is a 2-carbon molecule that combines with oxaloacetate, which is a 4-carbon molecule, and they combine to form citrate, which is the 6-carbon molecule. And that's in the first and second step of the citric acid cycle. And steps 2 through 8 are all reactions that are involving oxidation, which is the pink dashed line. And throughout steps 3 and 4, carbons are lost, and CO2 is produced with those carbons, and NADH comes out, and ATP comes out, and step 4 produces succinate. More ATP and FADH2 come out through reactions in oxidation, and eventually in step 8, the last step, oxaloacetate is reformed as the starting material, and so that's why it's called a cycle, because it's regenerated. In total, in a perfect cell that's producing at its maximum 38 ATP can say that they come out of the Krebs cycle, or the citric acid cycle, because NADH and FADH2 will go on later in the electron transport chain, where most of the ATP is formed to form the ATP.